Assemblymember Friedman, you're recognized at your desk for your adjournment in memory.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. You know, we unfortunately often rise in these chambers to memorialize and talk about people who are important to our community. But today I have the sad responsibility to not just do that, but to also talk about someone who has been for many years a close and personal friend of myself and my family. Arthur Charles Devine was born in Los Angeles. He graduated from UC Berkeley with a Bachelor of Science degree in Civil Engineering and received a Master of Public Administration from the University of Southern California. He was a state-licensed civil, structural, and fire protection engineer, and during his 36-year career with the City of Los Angeles Department of Building and Safety, he held various positions, including Chief of Earthquake Safety Division, Chief Inspector Bureau, and Executive Officer. During this time, he met and married Paula, the love of his life, and they shared a really beautiful life together, a life that I have had the opportunity to interact with many, many times over the years. Since his retirement in 1997, Art volunteered in numerous places with the goal of giving back to the community. You know, we all have people like this in our community, people that when there's a board of a nonprofit, you know they're going to be on it. When there's an important fundraiser for a good cause, you know they're going to be at the head of it. You know that they will over and over again always open their home to invite in community groups to hold fundraisers. They'll be the person that's cooking the food or standing in line. Art was definitely one of those people. He had a love of animals, and he volunteered at the Wildlife Way Station. He volunteered as an arbitrator for the Better Business Bureau, served as an ombudsman at CBS Television, and chaired the City of Los Angeles' United Way campaign. He was a member of the Glendale Fire Foundation as well as the Glendale Police Foundation, where he received the first Volunteer of the Year award for his services. He continued to serve the Glendale community on various boards and commissions, and I don't remember a time when he wasn't involved as a board or a commissioner. He served on the Glendale Board of Zoning Appeals, the Glendale Building and Fire Board of Appeals, and the Civil Service Commission, on which he served for 12 years. I met him because when I was serving on the Design Review Board, or maybe even before that in Glendale, he took me under his wing and was really a mentor for me and always talked to me and made himself available about how the city worked and about policy. And he pushed me to run for Glendale City Council for the first time in 2009. And both he and his wife, Paula, literally sat at a kitchen table at someone's house and licked envelopes for hours and hours and hours. I think they may have actually used one of those little sponge things. But they did that physical work and sweat equity to help support me in my goals, and always with an eye towards doing what they thought was best for our city. Art said that his volunteer work took so much of his time because, he quoted, this is a quote from him, "There's nothing more rewarding and gratifying than knowing you are helping people and making a difference by giving your time and resources without wanting, expecting, or receiving anything in return." And this was a person who never sought out accolades. You never saw him say, well, maybe I should be recognized. In fact, he was much more comfortable being the one giving the recognitions. Aside from spending their time volunteering, Art and Paula traveled extensively to all corners of the world, spanning almost every continent. Their travels have taken them from Kathmandu to Bali, from Shanghai to Rwanda, from Korea to Armenia, and everywhere in between. They also hosted these wonderful slideshows where they would invite people in to see pictures of their worldwide travels. Art was also someone who was incredibly warm and generous. He never had a bad word to say about anybody, even when they were acting badly. He just ignored that and focused on what he thought was good. He was the epitome of positivity, and he had a glow and a light about him that I will never forget. Art, alongside his partner Paula, was a fixture in the Glendale community, and we are still in shock that he has left us so soon. They dedicated their lives to improving the quality of life for everyone. Everybody knows that the thing he cared about most in the world was his wife, Paula. He was his rock. He supported her through all of her own volunteer efforts, as well as her successful campaign to serve on the Glendale City Council, where she now serves the community as our mayor. He left an indelible mark on Glendale, on me personally and my family. He will be missed, and he will always be remembered and loved. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Ms. Friedman.